Simon, by the way.
Hi, sir.
Ang insurance products, pwede kasi yung i-categorize into two general categories. Yung tinatawag natin na traditional product at yung variable universal life. So, dalawa yan. So, traditional at saka VUL. Yun yung tawag. Okay? So, under traditional, meron kaming dalawang kinds. Okay, dalawang kinds. Ang brand name niya bali kasi, one is Prosecure and the other is Elevate. Okay, Elevate as in E-L-E-V tapos number 8. Okay, ano pinagkaiba nila? Well, yung basic description kasi ng dalawang yun, pag sinabi mong traditional, ito yung parang life insurance na kabisado na natin ever since. Kumbaga, ito yung ang general idea is pag may namatay, kapag namatay yung policy holder, then merong perang makukuha si beneficiary. Yan ang traditional life insurance. So, kapag kumbaga, ang mga benefits na makukuha dyan, fixed. Ibig sabihin nun, pag the time na nag-apply ka, kumuha ka ng traditional life insurance, makapapakita sa iyo ng agent mo dapat na ito yung pwede nyo maging benefits. Year 1, year 2, year 3, all the way hanggang whatever year man, year 100. It's a traditional plan. Ang VUL kasi, it's an insurance product with an investment component. Which means, life insurance pa rin siya. Pag namatay si kliyente, meron pa rin benefit na makukuha si beneficiary. However, yung benefit na makukuha niya, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin fixed siya. Kaya nga variable sa pangalan niya. Kasi, the benefit can fluctuate depending on the investment component. Kasi ba, insurance product with investment. So, yung benefit is actually dependent on the performance of the investment component. Ganun siya. Okay? So, yun yung two general products. Sabi ko nga kanina sa traditional, ang brand names namin dyan is Prosecure and Elevate. Ang Prosecure, yun yung pinaka-traditional talaga na life insurance. Meaning, kukuha ka ngayon, ano ba kayo, age 18, 19, 20. So, at age 20, kumuha ka, insured ka your whole life until basically until age 88. So, kumbaga, parang whole life mo talaga covered ka. Pag may nangyari, din merong benefit. Ang endowment kasi usually, age or time-based siya. So, yung Elevate namin, kasi tinawag na Elevate, increasing yung kanyang benefits, ganyan. Tapos, fixed lang siya for 20 years. So, no matter what your age is, kumuha ka ng Elevate, kaya 20, kumuha kayo, matatapos yung insurance product na yun at age 40. Kasi 20 years lang talaga siya. Okay, so yun yung dalawa. Pagdating naman sa VUL, meron kaming dalawang klase. Pwede mo kasi siyang sabihin na there are two kinds of VUL products depending on the payment period. One is yung single premium or single pay and a regular premium. Meaning, multiple years ka magbabayad. Okay, so yun yung mga VUL natin. We have the Power Builder 1, which is yung single pay natin, at yung Power Builder 5 and 10, yun yung mga regular pay natin. Yung 5 at saka 10, yun yung paying years niya. Yan. So yun ang mga products na ino-offer namin. By this month, or I think by January, mag-offer na rin kami tinatawag na term product, term insurance. So kasama na rin yun. Ang term insurance, ano siya, you pay a certain amount today, for example, tapos ang coverage mo for the 5 years, for example. So, pag natapos yung 5 years na yun, at wala namang nangyari sa'yo, tapos na rin yun.
Renew na ulit.
Renew ka na ulit, bayad ka na ulit. Yeah, parang gano'n ang term product.
Unlike sa traditional po na naka-fix.
Yes, dire-diretso ang bayad. Okay. Basically, kahit sino, but we need to make a distinction. Sa insurance kasi, there are two personalities. There are two possible personalities. One is yung tao mismo na i-insure natin and yung nagbabayad. Okay, sa insurance kasi pwedeng magkaiba yun. Usually, kumuha ka ng insurance para sa sarili mo, ikaw ang insured, ikaw rin ang nagbabayad.
Okay.
But it is possible, for example, si baby, gusto mong kuhanan ng insurance product, siya ang naka-insure, pero yung magulang ang nagbabayad. Kaya pwedeng iba yung insured doon sa nagbabayad. So technically, who can avail of an insurance product, dapat, ano ka na, adult ka na, 18 years old and above. Okay? Unless, merong isang adult na gustong kumuha ng insurance for a minor, like a baby. Then yun, pwede yun. Technically, kahit sino. Who can avail? Madami yan. But, syempre, meron tayong the basic forms. May application form ka, tapos, yung application form kasi namin nakabundle na siya. So that means all you need to do is have that. I-add mo na lang doon basically yung IDs, mga government-issued IDs na requirement, and then kung ano pa man yung mga, depending on the product, may mga specific requirements. Okay, but basically, it's just the application form, government-issued IDs, and if it's a traditional product, for most of the insurance products kasi, ang requirement dyan, meron kang medical exam. Okay, so, part din yun ng mga requirements for an insurance product. The main benefit of a life insurance is simply to provide funds pag may nangyari kay kliyente. Yun ang so, pagdating sa traditional, yun talaga. Income protection ang tawag natin dyan. Yun ang number one benefit niya, income protection. Meaning, isang tao, kumuha siya ng life insurance, pag namatay siya, yung pera mapupunta sa beneficiary niya. So that's, kumbaga para pamalit dun sa income na dapat kikitain niya for them. Okay? For a VUL product naman, of course, meron dong part na insurance which takes care of pag namatay si kliyente, may makukuhang benefit si beneficiary. Meron din kasi itong benefit na para na rin siya nagiging investment, which means yung pera, pwede mo palaguin. Okay, so aside from income protection, pwede na rin wealth accumulation. Nagiging part na rin yung pagdating sa VUL. So yun yung mga benefits na, the major benefits from life insurance.
Pwede mo hingi na example kung paano gumagana yung VUL?
Paano gumagana ang VUL? Okay. Sa VUL, you would, upon application mo, you would need to choose kung saan ka mag-i-invest. Okay? Ganito siya. We offer 3 funds ang tawag namin dyan. Funds. Para easier to understand, there is a bond fund, a balanced fund, and an equity fund. Okay. As the name suggests, ang equity fund, equities or stocks, that means ang investment ng fund na ito ay sa stock market. Bonds, meaning, as the name suggests, bonds siya, mga government bonds o kaya mga corporate bonds. Kung hindi pa kayo familiar with bonds, bonds are basically loans. Okay, meaning, nangungutang si gobyerno or nangungutang ang kumpanya, mangungutang siya sa mga tao. So sila yung magiging bondholders at yung pera nila, papahiram muna nila dun sa umuutang, which can be the government or corporates, companies. Ang balance naman, kaya siya nasa gitna, kaya siya tinawag na balance, is a combination. Which means, a certain percentage ng investment niya ay nasa stocks, a certain percentage din nasa bonds. Kaya balanced ang tawag. Okay. So dun ngayon mamimili si kliyente. Tapos, based on the performance of that fund, kunyari, equity fund na pinili niya. For example, for the next 20 years, ang stock market natin, which is, alam niyo ba kung saan ang stock market natin ngayon? Anong level? Hindi niyo pinapantayan? Okay, nasa 6,100 level siya. Whatever that amount is, isipin na natin, kunyari, 6,100. Let's say in 20 years, umabot na siya ng 20,000 level. That means, tumaas na ang value niyan. So that means yung pera ni kliyente na in-invest niya sa atin, tataas din ng almost ganun kataas.
Yung benefits na makukuha niya, tataas din.
Yes.
Paano po pag bumaba?
I did the same way. Kung for example, biglang bumagsak yung market natin, okay? So that means yung value ng fund niya, ng investment niya, bababa din. Biglang doon namatay si kliyente. Just in case, okay? Meron naman tayo tinatawag ng minimum death benefit. Yun naman isang kagandahan ng VUL product natin. So kahit pa paano, meron siyang minimum. Kung baga ang tawag natin, meron kang floor. Kung ano man ang mangyari, kahit gano'n man bumagsak, ang investment mo, meron kang floor.
Okay.
Na hanggang dito lang, kahit gano'n pa siya kababa, we will guarantee na ibibigyan namin sa ito. So, gano'n naman siya. Kung umakyat naman sobra, kumbaga yung ceiling mo, butas na sa second floor, third floor ka na. Pag namatay siya ng gano'ng kataas yung value ng investment niya, then, yun ang ibibigay namin sa ito.
Eh, sa bond po, sa interest siya kumikita.
Sa bond, gano'n din. Value. The value, kasi yun eh. Ang concept kasi nung tatlo na yun is a fund. Meaning, kunyari yung equity fund, may laman siya for example ng 30 stocks. Then pag umangat yun, yung price nun, then yung value ng fund tataas din. Sa bonds, ganun din. Yung presyo ng, yung price ng mga bonds na binili ng fund manager natin, pwedeng tumaas, pwedeng bumaba. So ganun lang siya. Hindi siya nakadependent on one bond. Usually yan, madaming bonds. Sa stocks, madaming stocks. Ganun yung process niya. Siyempre, kapag life insurance ka, siyempre meron din yung the way you decide on what premiums ang i-charge mo sa kliyente for their life insurance product or for their VUL, dapat i-factor in mo din doon yung iyong income. Okay, which means a life insurance is still a business. And kung business yan, dapat kumikita ka. Therefore, dun sa premium na sinisigil mo sa mga kliyente, dapat nakapasok na rin dun na, okay, I can deliver what I promised, but at the same time, meron pang konting extra para may kitain naman yung company. So, yun ang benefit. And of course, dagdag na rin natin dyan syempre kasi na ang life insurance, kumbaga, parang nakakatulong din naman siya sa country. Okay, how? Kasi yung funds from different people na maliliit ang pera nila, kino-combine mo siya, and then as one, you invest it. Saan? Usually in investments here in the Philippines or sometimes even abroad. So majority ng mga funds naman ng life insurance companies nasa Pilipinas, ini-invest yan. So it helps develop the economy of the Philippines. So that's one of the benefits. Number 5. Minimum in terms of what? Minimum in terms of age, na-discuss na natin. Minimum in terms of peso amount. Meron din yan, depending on the product. Okay? Depending on the product. If it's the premium you are asking, meaning kung magkano naman yung payment nila, yun, syempre kasi ang premium ng insurance product, dependent yan on the age, on the gender, and on the smoking habits.
Smoking habits.
Pag insurance, pag pinag-usapan mo ang premium, tatlo ang basis niyan. So, medyo ano siya, it's a very complex computation, taking into consideration the age, the gender, and the smoking habits of the person. Then, you can compute for the premium na sisingilin mo sa kanya. So, medyo depende na yun. Yung minimum insurance requirement, that will depend nga on those three also. Maximum, technically wala. Technically, okay? Ibig sabihin, if you are a billionaire and you want to get a 1 billion insurance coverage, then technically it is possible. But normally, the higher you go in the life insurance coverage na gusto mong makuha for yourself, nagiging mas stringent ang medical exam. Siyempre, di ba, parang how sure are we na you are really worth 1 billion? You're gonna ask us to insure you for 1 billion? Are you really worth 1 billion? Parang ganon. So, can you logically pay the premium required for a 1 billion coverage? Kasi sa life insurance, usually, hindi naman ganon katataas, di ba? But if it's yung isang klase ng insurance, yung non-life insurance, which means ang ini-insure mo mga properties, syempre, pwedeng talagang billions yun. But for life insurance, hindi naman ganon katataas. So technically, there is no maximum insurance requirement. There is also a possibility na ang maximum mo will come from the product. Okay, which means there are some products na may ceiling na okay, hanggang dito lang pwede natin i-insure. Parang ganun. So, marami pa rin factors. Yes, for both traditional products and VUL, you can, anytime you want to leave, you can. Okay? For a traditional product, it's called, pareho rin naman sila. It's called full withdrawal. Okay? Full withdrawal ang tawag for both life traditional product and VUL. So technically you can. Usually lang meron diyang possible kasi na magkaroon dyan ng mga charges and fees.
Pero yung refund po, yung mga binayad, yung hindi na siya makuha.
Okay. If it's a traditional product, yung first kind of product natin, every year, meron pinapromise sa'yo na benefit in case may mangyari, di ba? Kadikit nun, if you're able to see a proposal, kadikit ng benefit, meron siyang cash surrender value. Which means, anytime you want to leave, you want to terminate your product, okay, eto ang makukuha mo. So, depende rin yun. Depende rin kung magkano yung premium sa binabayad mo. Depende kung anong klaseng product yung kinuha mo. That would depend. But basically, it's called the cash surrender value for a traditional product. For a VUL, ang termination yan is magkano na yung fund value mo. Di ba? May investment component siya. So, kung magkano man yung value ng investment mo at that particular point in time, yes, you can terminate, we will give you that actual fund value. Kung positive, meaning kumita ka nung lumabas ka, well and good. Kung hindi naman, sorry.
Yung sa traditional po, di ba parang meron po siyang yung naka-assign po kung magkano yung makukuha every year. Paano pag mababa pa yung nahulog niya dun sa na-assign? Ganun pa rin yung illegal?
Yes, ganun pa rin. Kasi nga, from the start, pinapakita na sa'yo. Ito ang babayaran mo, ito ang benefit na makukuha mo in case may mangyari sa'yo, at benefit na makukuha ng family mo in case may mangyari sa'yo, at kung gusto mo naman siyang isurrender, ito rin yung values niya. So, alam mo na at the onset. Sa VUL naman, it's all dependent on the fund value. And usually, sa VUL, minsan, for the early years, meron din tayong tinatawag na na surrender charges. Pag masyado kang maaga pa, tapos nag-surrender ka na ng VUL mo, most probably, meron pang mga charges na pinapakot. Sa totoo lang, as students, the concept kasi of a life insurance, if we really want to go into the heart of what an insurance product is, at the heart of it, a life insurance is an income protection. So technically, kung wala ka pang income to protect, dapat wala ka pa masyadong interest in insurance. Okay? However, nag-evolve na kasi yung mga insurance products. So that kahit na bata, di ba inaalaw na nga natin kahit baby, di ba? Wala pa namang benefit yan talaga sa life insurance eh. Kasi meron tayong mga products na pwede ka nang magkaroon ng mga dividends. Kumbaga, may kinikita ka na sa insurance. If you go back to the early years of insurance, meaning 100, 200 years ago, wala ka naman makukuha. Bumili ka ngayon, pag namatay, doon lang magkakaroon ng benefit. But as the industry itself progressed, nagkaroon na ng mga products na after 10 years, may makukuha kang benefit, na living benefit na cash. Tapos every other year, magkakaroon ka na. Tapos pagka namatay din, magkakaroon pa ulit ng benefit. So, because of those kinds of innovations, technically, kahit na estudyante or bata pa, can possibly benefit already from an insurance product. Okay? So, ano isang advantage? If you're still a student and you are able to afford an insurance product, that is the best time. Bakit? Diba sabi natin, ang insurance product, ang premium niya based on age. So, the younger you are, the cheaper is your premiums. Yan ang isang issue na sana gusto namin maparating sa mga kabataan, especially yung mga nagsa-start pa lang magtrabaho. Kasi sila, of course, probably you might have the same idea na pag nagkatrabaho ako, unang sweldo ko, gagastusin ko, bibili ako ng tablet, bibili ako ng sapatos, puro gastos, puro palabas. When in fact, it was at that point in time, kumikita ka na, that was the best time that you could start investing, for example, or buying a life insurance product habang mura pa siya. Sabi mo yan, age 20 mag-start ka. For example, ang age 20, matapos ka mag-buy at age 30. From age 31 onwards, you are fully protected. Well, actually, from start naman, from age 20, protected ka na. But Kumbaga, matapos ka magbayad at age 30, 31 onwards, fully protected ka, wala ka nang binabayaran, then you can probably think of, ano yung gusto kong gawin na with my money? Diba? I can buy this, I can buy that. Kumbaga, ano lang siya, prioritization lang. Hindi lang madalas nakikita ng isang mag-uumpisa pa lang magtrabaho, yung importance ng kapwa. Yeah, so, I hope that you can appreciate insurance even nga as a student. I will oblige you because in my previous life, I also came from a bank. I will try to answer this, but not in behalf of any particular bank. Okay. A living trust account, yes. Ang bank kasi ganito. A bank can have a certain type of license, okay, a banking license. But for it to become a trust bank, or for it to have a trust operation, it has to have another license from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, a trust license. Most of the big banks, maybe the top 10 big banks, all have trust licenses. And therefore, all of them are offering a living trust account. Okay? Ano naman ang concept ng living trust account? A living trust account is like this. Let's say, for example, I am the, kasi nandito siya eh, yung trustor, tama ba? Nakita ko kanina eh. Ayan. Actually, it's trustee, trustor, beneficiary. Okay, trustor nakalagay dito. Okay, so anong concept ng living trust? Ang living trust ganito. For example, I am a wealthy person. Let's say I have funds na medyo substantial and I want to ensure or I want to transfer its ownership now, okay, to let's say myself, for example. So that means I will be the trustor. I will entrust my cash to a trustee, okay, to a trustee for the benefit of my beneficiary. Yung, for example, anak ko. Okay? So ganun ang concept niya. So that means yung funds ko, I will give it the legal title. The legal title to these funds or these assets will transfer to the trustee. Ima-manage niya yun, palalakihin niya yun, etc. based on our agreement. And at a certain appointed time or a certain appointed age, the funds will transfer legally to my son. Okay, that is one possibility. Yung when siya magta-transfer, that's up to me. I can say it will transfer on his 21st birthday. Or I can say, it will transfer pag nag-asawa siya, or pag nagka-apo siya, bahala na. Okay? Basta may mga agreements yan. But that is the basic concept of a living trust. Okay? Which means, buhay pa ako, pero isinasantabi ko na yung property or funds ko para sa ibang tao. Okay? That's a living trust account. An investment management account, tinanggal mo yung beneficiary. Or, in this case, the beneficiary is the same person as the trustor. Pareho lang. So that means, ako yung may pera, I will still give my money to the trustee para palakihin niya for the benefit of me. Ako rin yung beneficiary. Okay, so yung three personalities, ako pa rin yun. Ako yung trustor, ako rin yung beneficiary. Yan ang investment management account. Okay? A pension or a provident account, usually this is for companies. Ino-offer to ng trust department ng isang bangko for corporate benefits. Kasi may mga companies tayo, alam naman natin, for example, ang companies, by law, required siya na magkaroon ng retirement account for its employees. So to help them manage the retirement account, a bank can offer them a pension or a provident account. Okay? Nag-iiba-iba lang yan depending on sino ba magbibigay ng funds? Yung kumpanya lang ba magbibigay solely ng funds? Or company na merong employee share? Or employees lang? Pwede yun. Okay? So, those are pension or provident accounts. A mortgage trust indenture. Okay, how do we simply explain this? Yung definition kasi ito, makikita nyo naman sa sa website ng isang bangko. You can research on what mortgage trust indenture is. Nag-iiba-iba kasi siya. Who can avail, basically, for a living trust and investment management account, you must be of legal age. So, at least 18 years old dapat ang pwedeng mag-open ng living trust account or investment management account. But then, nobody usually does that. Usually, mga may edad na kasi sila na may pera. A pension or provident account is any company. Ba, any company na gusto nilang magkaroon ng pension or provident account for their employees can approach any trust department or any bank to help them set it up. Or they can also set it up themselves. Okay, sa living trust, ang benefit niyan kasi is more of on the taxation. Okay, ano sabihin ng taxation? Kung ako yung may pera, okay, let's say I have 100 million pesos. I keep it to myself. I don't do any living trust or whatever. When I die, okay, my beneficiaries or my family would need to pay estate taxes bago nila makuha yung 100 million. Okay? So what does a living trust do? A living trust, ang benefit niya for the beneficiary is that lilipat yung ownership ng funds sa kanya kagad. Hindi na dadaan ng estate tax. Okay, dadaan ng estate tax. Kasi nga, habang buhay pa ako, inalis ko na siya from my ownership. Hindi ko na siya technically pag-aari. Hawak na lang siya ng isang trustee, but at the appointed time, saka lilipat. So, kumbaga, let's say of my 100 million, 50 million ang ginawa ko sa living trust, technically, I don't own that 50 million anymore. So, only 50 million na lang yung hawak ko. So, that is, isang benefit nun is, if I want to do estate planning. Meaning, may pera ako, gusto ko nang hati-hatiin sa mga anak ko or sa mga magiging heirs ko, then I can do that via a living trust. Sa investment management account, it's more of wealth accumulation, pagpapalaki ng pera. Yun talaga yung benefit, main benefit na makukuha ng mga kliyente sa investment management account. For the company, ang benefit niyan is meron silang katulong doon sa pagmamanage. Okay? Kasi syempre yung pera, pwede rin i-reinvest yan ng banko o ng trust department para yung pension na maibabalik naman nila sa kanilang mga employees can be higher than usual. So yun yung mga benefits niya. Siyempre, lahat naman yan may fees. May management fees yung mga yan. So that means doon kumikita ang isang trust department or ang isang bank. But syempre, yung hindi masyado napapansin, is that syempre that is a service that they give to their clients. As a bank, syempre di ba mga financial needs na kliyente mo ang inaasikaso mo supposedly. So gusto mo na as much as possible lahat ng financial transactions niya sa'yo niya gawin. So as a big bank, it's good to have these kinds of services or like have a trust department who can offer these products para hindi na lalabas sa bangko mo yung transactions ng kliyente mo. Ganyan kasi yan minsan ayaw mo na lumabas kasi pag lumabas pa yan sa ibang kumpanya o sa ibang bangko, baka yung funds pa niya ilipat. Diba? So gusto mong to capture them, kaya it's good to have these kinds of products. May kanya-kanya po silang application form. Okay, standard po dyan lahat ng AMLA. Anti-money laundering, which means meron yung form, may required yan ng mga government-issued IDs, and then kanya-kanya silang klase ng application form. Yun ang mga... So, who can be a trustor? Basically, anybody. Kahit sino pwede maging trustor. Trustee, usually, dapat meron kang certain license. Like, you're a trustee bank. You have a trust license. Then, you can be a trustee. But, technically, kung mag-usap lang tayo, for example, 3, pwede naman yun. Sabihin ko, ako yung pera ko, magkakatiwala ako sa iyo pero in 1 year, bibigay mo sa kanya. Pwede tayo magkaroon ng ganong agreement. So, anybody can technically be a trustee. Okay. So, beneficiary is siya nga, syempre, yung makakakuha ng benefit in the future. Again, depending on the bank or the trustee bank. For a living trust in my previous life, in the bank where I came from, the minimum for a living trust was 5 million. The minimum for a for an investment management account then was 1 million. So that depends on the bank. Actually, kahit sa ang bank website, makikita nyo yung mga minimum requirements nila for each type of product. When will the funds legally transfer to your beneficiary? Kailan ba yan? Is it upon your death? Is it at a certain age attained? Kaya pag nag-retire ako, gusto ko sa kanya na yung pera ko. Or is it age attained ng bata, like legal age, for a certain event, like pag nagpakasal na siya, para yun ang kanila magiging startup fund. It all depends on the trustor. Investment management account, same. Hanggat gusto mong magstay dyan, pwede. And a pension or a provident account, that would depend on the company. But if it's a big company, going concern yan. Kasi, every time na may nag-retire na employee, may mga bagong employees naman. So, parang perpetual yung kanyang retirement fund. So, it can be a very, very long time. A living trust account is good for, yun sasabi ko, estate planning. Okay? So, investment management account, it's good if you want to have another person or another entity manage your funds for you para may nagmamanage yung funds mo, you are concentrating on your work, you're concentrating on your business or whatever. At least somebody is working for you for investment management account. For a pension or provident plan, then yun nga, it's the company talaga nag-benefit sa kanya. But if I were to answer your last question, appreciate having an investment or any investment for that matter, it's as simple as this. Okay? An investment basically, the main objective of any investment is to earn. You are investing, let's say, money. Since pinag-usapan dito financial products, you're investing money so that in the future you will get a potential return. Diba? So that means having any form of investment, no matter how young you are, okay, the moment that you can start investing, do it. Okay, bakit? Kasi you have time on your side. Okay? The longer you are invested, the higher the potential returns of your funds. Comparing yung potential fund ninyo, let's say at age 20 up to age 60, that's 40 years na mag-accumulate yung fund nyo. Compared to us, let's say in our late 30s. In our late 30s, for example, ilang years na lang, magsi-60 na kami. Yeah? So, kumbaga, mas maliit na lang yung time. So that means, ano pang isang advantage pag bata? Ito sabi naman natin, ang investment can go down. So that means, kung kami, nag-invest kami, high risk, bumaba siya, medyo konti na lang yung time namin para maka-recover. But as a young person, the earlier you invest, kahit bumagsak man ng market, bumagsak man siya ng 5 years, 40 years na hindi. So it's much